Man, I can't believe the internet's bad this late at night. The internet. Maybe I'll go in. Maybe I'll go out. We'll stick with the camera. So, good news. It's rare. No joke. I'll go buy about 5 video games before I get one that's worth a damn. Even with the people recommended, there's a little bit of a math involved. Like I'll be out running errands. I'm like, I'll stop at GameStop, find something that's cheap. Maybe it'll be worth it. We're talking picking up games for like $20. But Fleekazoid channel you might want to take a look at. He reviewed Pirate Yakuza. And he's talking about it's the modern day, but you're a Yakuza agent, but you become a pirate. Even though it's 2025, you pilot pirate ships and they got lasers. Tell me more. So I picked it up, and it's not Ghost of Tsushima. This is not Red Dead Redemption. But man, it's up there for a game that has a simple, stupid, fun premise. It's a really fun game. And even good. If you're all serious, I got to save the planet and everything like that. This is not going to be your video game. Yeah, here we go. We'll have to just get rid of it that way. God, I'm so pissed with these people. But if you're looking for a fun game where you get to play a Yakuza guy, agent, whatever, member, who ends up becoming a pirate in modern day Pacific Ocean, then this is the game for you. So the basic premise of the game is you wake up on a deserted island. You don't know who you are. You got amnesia. And the only thing you could figure out is that you're a Yakuza member because of the tattoos on your body. But you're out in Hawaii somewhere. You are rescued by this kid named Noah, who's probably one of the few, not even bad things, but one of the weak spots of the game. He saves your life. You owe him your life. He wants to get off the island of the islands which he lives on his dad. And there's a bunch of islands. You're near Hawaii, the Hawaiian chain. And so I'm not giving away too much of the video game here. On this first island, on this first stage, there's pirates, right? You got to fight them. It's like Grand Theft Auto on a tropical island. You got to fight them. And then you end up meeting captain of the pirates that are on this island, terrorizing the island. You beat him, you get his ship. Now you got a pirate ship. And the plot, which is rather long and complicated, a lot of which, if you're an adult, you're going to be like, well, why would they do that? This game isn't made for adults. It's made for 10 to 13-year-old boys who probably would not pick it. Well, why would they do that? The plot is complicated, long. There's certainly some plot holes, but you know what? The average 12-year-old boy ain't going to pick up on that. And it's just a big-ass modern-day pirate adventure. So there's a nuclear waste island, and there's something going on with the Yakuza agents. That's why the Japanese were there. There's a religious cult involved. You got to go to Honolulu. That's where you kind of you go and recruit other pirates. You also level up there. You arm your ship there. You get your cannons built there. And it ends up becoming part Assassin's Creed Black Flag, part Grand Theft Auto, except you don't steal no cars. You just run around Honolulu fighting people. That's the thing. The game is basically based on fighting. but you don't steal no cars or nothing. And everyone's a dick in Honolulu. There's always these gang members. There's always someone trying to fight you. And I'm like, that's not like Honolulu. I'm sure they have their criminal element, but in order to progress, in order to level up, you gotta be getting in fights with people all the time. So there's like gang members and all. There's missions. There's a ton of side games you could play, but they actually all do tie into the game. And you're hunting for this treasure. That's the overall arc. Is you're hunting for this treasure, but so is a bunch of other people, bunch of other groups. And it's how you and this kid Noah and his dad and what was the Asian guy's name? I forgot. A bunch of people, how you form a pirate crew to go and get this treasure. Uh there I'm leaving so much of it because the review would take too long to do it. But there's a pirate island called Madlantis where one of the bad guys is. And there you can engage in the pirate coliseum where you go and have naval battles with other pirates, different type of pirates. They have different motifs. There's like the mecha pirates, there's the sumo pirates, there's the biker gang pirates. No, it wasn't made by Americans or Westerners. Obviously, it was made by Asians because it doesn't suck. Oh, and there's hot chicks on the pirate island. Hot chicks in lingerie abound. Like I said, it was made for like 10 to 13-year-old boys. They'll be like, well, that's kind of cool. And you can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your guns, you can upgrade your fighting technique. I got just shy of 30 hours into it, and it was worth every 30 hours. So the that's the overall plot, and I don't want to ruin it, but you basically get involved with 5 different parties in the Pacific Ocean searching for a treasure, and you happen to commandeer a pirate ship and engage in pirate battles and pirate competitions. But then you got to go to Honolulu to go Grand Theft Auto and buy supplies and gear up and glow. Oh, and there's like a cooking game. It's just fun all around. So the things I liked about, I'll just go through it. Yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto Honolulu. It's very clever and witty. There's some fun. They had a little bit of fun. It's sometimes comical and corny, but it's clever. It's definitely entertaining for an adult. But the one of your main characters, I forget the Asian guy's name. Um, the video game character is based off of a real actor, like his body and physique and his face. And what ends up happening is he has a submission. He wants to meet some girls, so you got to run around Honolulu and convince 5 women to go have a party with him. Well, the 5 women are also based on real women in the real world models. And what ends up happening, so he goes on the date with all 5, and it turns they actually film a real life dating show where the guy, he's kind of an oafish, overweight guy, but he's dapper and charming, and he just fails with all 5. It's a little long. I was like, okay, I want to fast forward through this. But I thought it was really clever where they just did this little side thing where it's an actual, like The Bachelor kind of. That's what they're spoofing. But you're like, wait, that's the actress, and she looks just like the gal in the video game. So that was kind of cute. Um, what else? There are sexy chicks in lingerie. I don't know if I mentioned the sexy chicks in lingerie. A whole island of them in various outfits and uniforms. It's not because they're sexy chicks in lingerie. It's that it's unashamed. Yeah, boys are gonna like this. This is unashamedly a game for boys. Yep, there's some girls in lingerie or a bikini or a sexy pirate outfit. I like the fact they did that. And it is for like 10 to 13-year-olds. No one really dies. Despite all the battles in the fight, no one really dies. It's like G.I. Joe. They just get beat. A couple people get shot. What else? Oh, I bought Black Myth Wukong. And I after I tell Atham I bought Black Myth Wukong, he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna like it." I say, "Everyone loves it. Why? I thought this was the one." He's like, "Yeah, but it's too hard for you." And I'm like, "Okay." So I tried it, and he's right. It's too hard for me. I don't like hard games. I don't have the time. What was the one? Bloodborne. Um, the South Korean one. What was the one? Stellar Blade. They're all fine games. Don't get me wrong. I don't have time to master the button code. I don't have time to sit there and wait for the millisecond opportune moment to strike and hit my enemy with the correct combo. I just don't. I don't. A lot of people who don't have jobs, a lot of people who live off of mom and dad or the government, a lot of people just have no lives. You might have the time to go and tolerate Bloodborne. What was the other one? Elden Ring, very popular, but it's also I don't have time for that. I don't want to learn a whole new set of button commands. It's like learning a language every day. No, I don't want to learn it. This one, you just get to mash buttons. It's pretty easy. Now, that being said, they do accommodate those of you weirdos who like to complicate things and make games work. So you can unlock a whole bunch of moves. Rectangle, rectangle, X, square, holding the L1, but no freaking joke. You can make it as complicated as you want. Me, I just learned to dodge a little bit, to do this jump and dart move. And then I picked up a couple handful of moves that I like, but that was about it. And you know what? That's enough to get through the game. This isn't like it's 1996 and I got to learn all the moves to Mortal Kombat like all the Asian immigrants, international students did. They just would sit there lined up and they know all the fatality. I don't have time for that. I don't. I do not. So if you like a fun game where you can just pick up the controller and go, there's that. Um, there are a ton of little side games, like you can get an app and become popular. You got to actually become popular to recruit one of the pirates. Almost every pirate you recruit has some little side mission or quest you got to do. You can go fishing and catch different quality of fish. You can grow crops and harvest different quality of crops, and then you make food. Food is very important. That's how you heal yourself. And you get to go to Goro's kitchen, and you gotta hit the right codes to dice up the vegetables, and you gotta skim the scum. I think that was my favorite part of the game was skim the scum. That was my fun. I think that was the best part. So there's a cooking thing it's not overcomplicated. It's not crazy. The characters are all good. There's a lot of characters. Most of them are not. You get to know them a little bit and they join your crew. That's about it. But there's some main characters. They do a pretty good job of introducing them. The kid Noah, that I know he's like the main kid, the second main character. He's got that creepy, uncanny valley vibes. The kid just looks not natural. And he just becomes kind of annoying after a bit. Doesn't really serve a purpose except to move the plot along, which is fine. But you're gonna be like, get out of my way. You gotta go through a lot of conversations. So I was hitting the X button and skipping through that. And then the plot is a little fantastic. The plot is incredibly creative. You'll appreciate it for the creativity of the plot. But it's a little long, it's a little simple, and sometimes not so simple. But then at the end, like the last quarter or last fifth of the game, like, whoa, shit, this is a way more deeper plot than I thought. The storyline and how people are living so old and the search for the eternal youth, and then you find out in the I don't know, I really don't want to ruin it at the end, but the ending scene once the credits roll through and the main character Majima, he's the Yakuza pirate. He gets his memory back, and obviously he goes back to Japan. And there's a final scene in Japan. I wouldn't say it was tear jerking, but it was pretty touching. You're like, oh, well, and it was serious. They were talking about the purpose and meaning of life and death, and he was just happy to get this kid off the island, and he was kind of ashamed of all the adults and the bad people they had to run into. It's like this kid shouldn't have seen all that. That kind. It was, again, it was not a Western. Oh shit, I'm a dude, and now I'm a girl, and here's look out, here comes Soul Sister in a 110-pound waif beating up the Russian mob. It wasn't any of that. It was again Asian Japanese. I forgot how even something as simple as Gintama, which the anime series went to pot. I've stopped watching it. Even there, the moral stories and the lessons they had at the end of each episode, you'll get more morality and interesting philosophical observations out of Gintama, and certainly this video game, than you will any AAA development game. I'm by. What was it? Was that Dragon Age: The Veil Guard? I'm didn't the main character? Well, I'm by. It's like, madam, this is a Dungeons and Dragons video game. What are you talking about? There was none of that. It was just a kid who wanted to go exploring and be a pirate, and you got to be a pirate. And at the end of the plot, you're like, oh wow, yeah, they're Yakuza, yeah, they're criminals, but there's a little bit of a mafia honor there involved. So those were the good things. The bad thing is not a lot of bad. Like I said, the kid Noah is kind of creepy. There's a lot of conversations like via text, and thank God you can hit the X button and just skip that. The map is a bit difficult to use. It takes a little bit of getting used to. You have to be at the lighthouses before you can teleport to different places. That's probably the thing I like the least about the game is traveling. You get this animal farm. I visited it twice and I never used it, so it really has no point in purpose. And to beat the game, I thought you had to win all the competitions at the Pirate Coliseum. You do not. They are actually, if you get up there higher rank, they actually get really difficult. I'm like, well, I got to take on this main guy, one of the main villains you got to take on, and you got to challenge him in the Pirate Coliseum. So I'm like, well, I better level up. So I was under the impression you had to win the Pirate Coliseum games to then challenge this guy. No, you can challenge him. And because you think, oh, I got to work my way up to this guy, you actually get way stronger than you need to be to beat this guy. So when you go up against this kind of final pirate, he's not that hard to beat unless you go from plot to plot to plot and you don't really spend much time in the Pirate Coliseum leveling up. Yeah, that's it. They're very minor complaints. But it was what does it go for now? Hang on. I got it used. I think I got it for like $35. Let's go shopping. It's okay, yeah, CD keys. That's $30. PlayStation's charging 60. Walmart, they're charging 45. You know what I could do? You know what? If you really were interested in buying it, you could go to olderbrother.com/donate. You say, Cappy, that doesn't sound like a place I could buy a video game. You're right. It's not. It's my website, olderbrother.com. You can go to olderbrother.com/donate. Cappy, it says it's not secure. It's secure. Please click on it anyway. Just ignore it. And at the bottom, you'll see a little thing that says Amazon affiliate. There'll be a little Amazon logo. If you click on that and then you type in Pirate Yakuza, which is what I am typing in now. Yeah, PlayStation 5 you can get for $45. Xbox 49. And if you did that way, right? Let's say you said, "Oh, I'm going to go to the convenient link below, or just out of memory, olderbrother.com/donate. Click on the Amazon banner and buy it." If you did that, then I get a 5% commission and cut. Cappy, does it cost me anything more? No, it doesn't. It does not. So for, what does it break down to? $45, 30. That's like a $1.50 per hour of entertainment. I guess once you conquer it, there's not a lot of playability. You really do have to go through most of the submissions to get your crew up strong enough to, like, do raiding parties and stuff like that. So I guess that's maybe one of the drawbacks. But yeah, so for 45 bucks, you get at least 30 hours of entertainment. It's gonna beat any American it is. It just is. Again, another surprise Japanese game. Although, Ghost of Tsushima was an American development, wasn't it? And they were just honoring the Japanese. But yeah, if you like hot chicks and lingerie outfits, there you go. I mean, you gotta get to Atlantis, that's the pirate island. They're not all over, but oh, wait, they do have girls in bikinis on the beach in Honolulu. So there you go. Super chats. Jorge yes, $5. Come on, Cappy. Just recruit all the 4-star big boobed girl bikini girls for your pirate ship. There's a fair amount of gals you recruit. The 5 girls that you try to get to date your buddy, they all join the basically any subplot you carry out, any submission involving a new person, they either say, I want to become a pirate, or like, oh, I had such fun doing that with you. Can I join your pirate team? And some of them are women. And there's some gals that are in cute little outfits. The best ones are at the pirate island, though. I'm like, why can't I get the Playboy bunny? Right? If Pirate Yakuza really want to make some, you could have it like, oh yeah, you get these girls different outfits, right? You unlock this piratess. Oh yeah, she's got that outfit. Uh, I guess maybe that's something that they could have done but was lacking. You could have really built out your crew more. They could have done a lot more with the crew. You basically just staff your crew to man guns and machine. You just plop them in based on their skills and abilities. And then you got to pay attention what their maximum level can be. So you make sure you put them in the right positions. And then the ability of your ship to do battle goes up if you put the people in the right place. But that's about it. There was no like, oh, yeah, I want that girl fighting in a whatever, a bikini outfit. It was like, no, that's the outfit she has. She's the bartender. There you go. There you get the bartender pirate. All right, that's it. I'd say out of I'd say 4 2/3 stars, more than 4.5, like a 4.7 out of 5 stars. It was that good. I enjoyed it very thoroughly. And if you can understand it's not all that serious, kind of fun, and imagine yourself being a 12-year-old boy again, you're gonna have a great time with this game. But yeah, this is like a 9.2 out of 10. All right, see you guys later. Toodles.